Hey, it's Central Valley Business. I'm your host, Steve Walling. My guest for this segment is Dr. Morghan Vélez Young-Alfaro. Did I get that all right?
Wonderful.
Doctor, welcome to the show, and you are with?
Anchoring Success.
Anchoring Success.
Yes.
Sounds kind of interesting, Doc. What are we talking about?
So, Anchoring Success is a local firm. We serve the Central Valley, and we target nonprofit professionals. These are professionals who work in community-based organizations. We partner with organizations and staff teams to support them in their effectiveness, in their long-term vision, and being successful. We recently launched wellness services. So for so long, Anchoring Success has focused solely on infrastructure, strategy, but a big missing piece, not only in our firm, but in the nonprofit sector more widely, has been wellness.
Doc, let's talk about how this works for someone that's watching today that maybe has a nonprofit or whatever. How does Anchoring Success work for them? What happens? What's the procedure?
So folks reach out to Anchoring Success most often, and they say, we are successful in XYZ ways. Mm-hmm. We want to get even better at it, right? Because we have a big mission. Most community-based organizations have big hearts, big missions to meet a very specific community need, community transformation issue.
Right.
So they reach out to us, we partner, and we say, what is going to allow you to meet that next level in your organization? So sometimes that is a short-term project, sometimes that's a multi-year project. But we craft that plan, and then we carry out that plan.
So you kind of partner with them,
mm-hmm.
and then you kind of evaluate them, mm-hmm. and then you take in consideration what they said, which may or may not actually be what's really going to work for them, and then you develop a plan for them.
You know so much about this, yes.
I have a little bit of an idea.
Yes.
But then you develop a plan for them,
yeah.
and then you partner with them as they evolve that plan.
Yeah.
Now, before we went on camera, I was talking about there's a lot of science behind success principles, things that work. Now, we're fortunate enough to live in a time where there's been a lot of people that have come before us that have pioneered a lot of these things. But what kind of principles is it that we're looking to put into practice here with these people that want to really explode their nonprofit?
Yeah. So every organization has a couple features that need to be in alignment with one another. Mm-hmm. So the mission and the number one focus needs to guide both the attitudes and culture of the leadership, mm-hmm. And the attitudes and leadership of the attitudes and culture that's set by the leadership, mm-hmm. then must be cultivated, become a constant feature in how staff experience supervision, how staff experience joy in carrying out their work.
So like having a mission statement and a vision statement for all the people that are involved with it really kind of gives them a focus to where we're going with our program, how it's going to unfold.
Yeah. One thing that we love to do when we are either doing research or we're evaluating the inside workings of an organization is to inquire and explore how many of the on-the-ground staff actually know what is the strategic plan for the next 3 years for your organization.
We need
because
a plan?
everybody in that organization, it's a cumulative effort when an organization is successful. And so every single staff member should be so proud that they actually play a role in that.
And knowing what that role is.
And what that role is,
And that can be important because a lot of times an individual may have a very integral and important role but not be aware of it.
Right.
And so they're just doing their job.
Right.
But when you come in, you say, we really depend on you so that we can do this, that, and the other, it kind of lights them up energetically and motivationally.
Right. And that really speaks to morale.
Mm-hmm.
It speaks to the climate within an organization. And then that kind of morale and climate in an organization also has really concrete consequences. So a lot of our work relies on data. Mm-hmm. So an organization will have excellent data mm-hmm. when their staff understand the purpose for entering that data. So many things in a community-based organization, whether that's running a training with the community or a workshop or providing case management social services directly with community members, all of those actions accumulate data that needs to be entered into a database and stored, and then that data can be analyzed to drive decision making.
So we have programs to do this?
That we have important professionals who do that.
Okay.
And Without the morale and the investment on the staff's end to know the big picture that they're carrying out, that data might not be entered well or consistently. And so the concrete consequence of a healthy climate and a healthy morale means that there can also be robust data to then drive all kinds of future decisions.
Well, that sounds kind of exciting.
I get very excited about data.
Do you?
But I get excited also that such seemingly boring and mundane tasks are so impactful.
Very important. Somebody told me, and I'm not going to say how long ago, but a long time ago, that like having goals are very important, not only for individuals but for organizations. And the question at the time was, well, why is, I know what I want to do, I know where I'm going, but why is it important for organizations to have goals that the general population of the organization knows and understands?
It creates, thank you for asking that, it creates, one, transparency for the relationship between the community and that entity, that organization. Right? So transparency allows for there to be two things. Transparency with an organization, like making those goals obvious, declaring them boldly. It allows the community who can use those services to then come in and build a relationship and start using those services.
Right.
But secondarily, it also creates opportunity for strong donor and funding channels to partner up with an organization.
Well, that can kind of be important for a nonprofit, can't it?
Yes, yeah.
Do you work with nonprofits also in laying out platforms for securing donor relationships and stuff?
We do. Because the various features of an organization are overlapping or interdependent.
Right.
We do, yeah.
Cool. That's really neat.
Yeah.
So what's coming up at the beginning of the year you were talking about?
Wellness services, and these are for professionals whose very jobs take them into very strenuous and stressful contexts.
Okay. Let's define what our particular individuals are that we're talking about, because we're not talking about just like business people in a high-rise.
Well, you know what? Thank you for saying something about that. Many of us are already familiar with the American work context. So many of us, it turns out in this country, work life is already chronically stressful, and there's a ton of burnout. So in this country, 40% of us report that our jobs are extremely, very or extremely stressful. And surprisingly, 18%, so almost 1 in every 5 people in this country have in the last 12 months experienced verbal or physical threat at work from their colleagues. So the work environment in this country is already
a little bit
problematic.
stressful.
Yeah. But what is more interesting and exciting, and I put on my researcher hat for this particular curiosity and excitement, is that certain professional niches are even more stressful than the average American experiences. And so I'm talking about nonprofit professionals who are doing social services and direct services, police officers, therapists and counselors. We know for these niche areas that burnout is even higher for these professionals who are doing such important, intrinsically valuable work for the community.
Well, that's got to be exciting.
It's exciting to know that there are solutions, they're science-based solutions, and they're practical. So it doesn't mean someone has to join a yoga membership. It doesn't mean someone has to change their diet. There are small steps that can be brought into someone's life.
But you get to watch this unfold in your partners, don't you?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Really great.
Yeah.
But that doesn't do anybody any good if I don't know how to find you, get a hold of you, and acquire your services. How do I do that?
Thank you. So the community can visit anchoringsuccess.com. Our wellness services for these types of professionals begin January, so enrollment is already open, and we are so excited to start bringing some practical science-based opportunities to the community.
Good. Now we got a phone number?
We do have a phone number. It's
Which
area
is?
code 559
Right.
821-1234.
Facebook page?
Our Facebook page, you can find us by just looking for Anchoring Success on Facebook.
Oh, there you go. Well, Doc, thanks for being.
Thank
It's
you.
a great program that you got.
Thank you.
If you happen to be a nonprofit or a professional that is experiencing a rather high load of stress in your work, you might want to get a hold of Anchoring Success.
Yeah.
And I'll see you when we come back.
Thanks.